Police recover $75,000 to $100,000 worth of stolen goods, including items from break-ins here in East Longmeadow. ELCAT breaks the story. Now that fall is here, the East Longmeadow Police Department is advising residents to take out their air conditioners. We'll tell you why they can be an invitation to burglars. And the East Longmeadow School Committee wants your input on how to solve the problem of aging school facilities. The big issue, what to do with the high school. These stories and a look at Spartan Sports just ahead on ELCAT News. Good evening, I'm Alexi Cohan. We begin tonight with news ELCAT first reported on Friday. $75,000 to $100,000 worth of stolen goods is now in the hands of the East Longmeadow Police Department. A huge rash of burglaries has hit East Longmeadow and surrounding towns. Sergeant Pat Manley of the East Longmeadow Police Department explains.
On Monday night, September 30th, apparently someone broke into three different homes, three different construction sites, homes under construction in East Longmeadow.
Construction sites seem to be the in for this thief, as it appears that they scope out sites to see when deliveries will be made.
On September 30th, Monday, the job sites were closed up for the night, and on Tuesday morning, when the workers came to work, they found that on Wisteria Lane, someone had broken into a house under construction and stole a dishwasher, an oven, and a microwave.
Just when you think this thief got away with a lot, he continued on with his spree.
Then on the same morning, on Kibbe Road, a contractor reported to work and found that his entire siding job that had been delivered the day before. The men reported to start the job, and all the siding was gone. On that same morning, the workers reported to work to begin work on installing a jacuzzi bathtub in a home on Pembroke Drive under construction, and they found that the jacuzzi was missing.
After a warrant was obtained by the East Longmeadow police officials to search a home on Cooley Street, several $1,000s worth of stolen material was recovered. As a result of this search, even more stolen material was then recovered, and police from neighboring towns became involved.
They recovered between $50,000 and $75,000 of other property that had been stolen at construction sites throughout Western Mass. Working with detectives from Granby, South Hadley, Ludlow, and Wilbraham, and additionally from Somers, Connecticut State Police and Somers Police, we were able to solve a number of other break-ins that occurred over the last few months, including a break-in that occurred in East Longmeadow on Favorite Lane earlier in the summer, where a number of windows and other construction material had been stolen.
After a considerable amount of property was seized by the police, a suspect is being charged with additional suspects in question whose names cannot be released at this time. All the items you see here have been stolen and recovered.
We anticipate charging the individual who we detained at the home that evening. We anticipate charging additional people. We're still investigating and writing reports. Believe it or not, inventorying such a large amount of property takes time, and putting it all together, the reports all together, it's a little bit of work, and like I say, we're coordinating with several other departments, and we have to get their information from their reports, and we have to coordinate everything, so it's not an easy task.
The East Longmeadow Police Department is also warning about a rash of other break-ins, but it's how thieves are actually getting into homes that may surprise you. Police say thieves are targeting homes with air conditioner units in windows. So far, within the last few weeks, 3 homes in town have been broken into this way. Once again, we hear from Sergeant Pat Manley.
The burglar has gone up to houses that are vacant during the day. He drives around the neighborhood. He looks at a house that has no cars in the driveway. Looks like nobody's home. We suspect he goes up and knocks and rings the bell first to see if anybody will answer, but he chooses homes where there's a air conditioner unit hanging out of the window.
Manley says there are certain things thieves look for to gain easy access through the AC window units.
Not too high up, or not in a spot where it's difficult for him or visible for him to enter. And he just pulls the air conditioner unit right out, climbs in the window, and then steals whatever he can from the home.
Now that the weather is cooler, police advise homeowners to take AC units out of their windows, and Sergeant Manley says to absolutely be a nosy neighbor. He says please contact the police if you see anything suspicious in your neighborhood. Do you think East Long Meadow should get a new high school? Or maybe a new addition to one of the elementary schools? That's exactly what the East Long Meadow School Committee wants to know during a public forum scheduled for later this week. Over the last week, you may have spotted School Committee Chair Greg Thompson and Vice Chair Deidre Mayu on ELCAT talking about and promoting the October 10th public forum at the high school. An architectural firm hired after approval from the last town meeting has studied all 5 school buildings in town. During the public forum, the school committee will unveil the study to discuss the firm's findings and to develop a long-term plan for each school.
We did a comprehensive analysis with SMMA, the architectural firm that we hired, to really analyze each individual aspect of each building. And I'm talking down to the classroom, hallway, custodial closets, every piece. And they've gone into each piece of the building, you know, roof structure, big stuff like that, but also smaller stuff, and really analyzed how it is now, how it could be, how it should be, potential changes, which we haven't started to talk about changes yet, but just the basic analysis of those buildings.
The idea is to come up with a long-term facilities plan, not just at the high school, but, for example, at the elementary schools where temporary modular buildings have become not so temporary. The School Facilities Public Forum is October 10th in the high school cafeteria beginning at 6:30. The school committee, along with School Superintendent Gordon Smith and the SMMA architectural firm, will be in attendance. A slideshow presentation will be followed by open discussions. A tour of the high school will be available after the meeting. October marks National Fire Safety Month. The East Long Meadow Fire Department opened its doors last weekend for a public lesson on fire safety, all mixed with a little fun. The ELFD welcomed families to their annual open house on Saturday. The idea to teach fire safety and prevention tools. Firefighters also took the opportunity to show off the department's latest in equipment.
This year's theme is all about preventing kitchen fires. 2/3 of all kitchen fires, believe it or not, start from some cooking material cooking. A pot left unattended, a stove turned on accidentally with stuff on top of it. So it's just for us to remind the public that kitchen fires are a leading cause of home fires within a residential structure. So that's our motto this year.
Chief Morissette also wants town residents to know where their tax money is going.
We like to make sure that the residents and families and friends of East Long Meadow are fully aware of what's available, some of the safety procedures that are out there, and also, secondly, gives the town a chance to come out and see their fire equipment, their firefighters. We do a few demonstrations. We're going to have an extrication drill in a few minutes. We're going to put the ladder up. Some of the guys are going to be climbing it to show what's out there and what their taxes are hopefully paying for, and making sure that everything's in great working order. This year we got our brand new command vehicle. It's designated as Fire Car 1. It's a little bit larger than we had before. Now we're able to have a full command post behind, as you can see here. We have a workstation, we have radios in the back, and it carries a lot more gear than the older car had. It's a great addition to the fire department.
Children and adults learn the latest safety procedures such as how to stop, drop, and roll, how to plan escape routes, and how to crawl safely through a smoke-filled room.
The equipment is something that I've never seen before, and what I learned is that you need an escape plan to get out of a fire.
If you missed the fire department's open house, you can get more information on fire safety by visiting Fire Prevention Week or fpw.org. Over the weekend, dozens of seniors in East Long Meadow got together, all for a good cause. The Bluebird Estates Independent Senior Living Community hosted what they call the Walk, Rock, and Roll-a-thon, a fundraiser for The Cure Starts Now. CSN is a grassroots organization to cure cancer one child at a time.
This organization started to raise awareness and to bring groups of researchers and families who are battling cancer, specifically pediatric brain cancer, together so that they could pool their resources. And they now have 26 chapters in the United States, I believe, and some overseas as well as Canada. We can't run here too much. Most of our residents here are, they're feeling the effects of aging, and so we did a walk, rock, and roll. Some of our folks got out and walked on our walking path. It's 1/3 of a mile to do the full loop around the community. So some of our folks did that. Others rolled in their wheelchairs, and we had volunteers to help our walkers and our rollers to safely make that route around the building.
Members of the East Longmeadow Senior Center, including the Morning Glory Walkers, volunteered at Saturday's event. At last count, Walk, Rock, and Rollers raised about $1,000 towards the Cure Starts Now Foundation. In sports, a big win for Spartan football. That game kicks off our look at Spartan Sports Week in Review with Matt and Domenico.
Hello everyone, Matt and Domenico here with your LCAT Sports Update. Last week, the Spartans football team went on the road to face the Purple Knights of Holyoke. After trailing 13-0 at the end of the first quarter, the Spartans rolled off 20 unanswered points to take a 20-13 lead at halftime, and they went on to win 41-28. The Spartans were led by Ryan Taft, who had 7 catches for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. Devin Kennedy was 13 for 18 with 156 yards and 2 touchdowns, but neither he or Taft was the game's top performer. Mikey Magipinto carried the rock 24 times for a career high of 297 yards while crossing the goal line 4 times. The sophomore sensation continues on as a force to be reckoned with. The Spartans will travel to Springfield next week to face Putnam on Friday. The boys soccer team split a pair of games. Matt Mooney scored 2 goals in leading the Spartans to a 3-2 victory over Chicopee Compound Wednesday. Mooney now has 15 goals and 3 assists through just 9 games on the season. On Friday, they traveled to face Minnechaug and were blanked by the Falcons 2-0. The Spartans' record stands at 5-3-1 on the season. The Spartans field hockey team had a tough week. They were shut out by Westfield 4-0 and by Mahar 3-0. However, East Longmeadow is currently 5-5 on the season. The girls' volleyball team lost its only match of the week, 3-0 at the hands of the West Springfield Terriers. The volleyball team drops to 3-7 on the season. On a more positive note, the East Longmeadow girls soccer team is currently on a 6-game winning streak, making it to number 9 in Mass Live's top 10 rankings this week. The Lady Spartans had 2 shutouts this week against Westfield 3-0 on Tuesday and Northampton 3-0 on Thursday. Kate Paluzzo scored 2 goals in that game, giving her a total of 6 goals as the team's top scorer. And that's your LCAT Sports Update. I'm Matt and Domenico. Back to you, Lexi.
That will do it for us tonight. Thank you for watching LCAT's News Week in Review. I'm Alexi Cohan. Good night.